Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is qualifying ahead of the 2024 Belgian Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, then please do get yourself subscribed. I'm live for every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship, and the Belgian Grand Prix will take place tomorrow afternoon from 3 p.m. I'll be live about 2:45. No, 2 p.m. Sorry, 2 p.m. 3 p.m. now for quali. 2 p.m. for the actual Grand Prix, so I'll be live about 2:45 tomorrow for the race. But this is qualifying. We're going to set the grid at a very wet Spa-Francorchamps. There might be a few red flags, few yellow flags, few little spins, crashes, and whatever we get dealt with, we deal with. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. So welcome to the stream, guys. Oh, as Denver frozen, I'll get him off then. He's got off. He's got off. I was going to do a bit of a health check on Developer because he's been on it for about 16 hours or something. You got the cricket on mute. Oh, mate. Get that cricket on mute because this is where it's at for the next hour and a bit. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Ernesto was in. How we doing? Chrissy was in as well. Might still be in, both of you. But yeah, welcome in. Carl's in as well. Sergeant's out-qualified. Perez. Yeah, you never know. You never know the form that Sergio Perez is in. This could be Sergio Perez's last race as a Red Bull driver. I'm starting to think that is going to be the case. Now, if he performs well, if he gets like top 6 or something like that, it might be enough for him to cling onto the seat. But I think if he has another disaster, if he's in the wall in quali and, qualifies, 17th, ends up coming home 11th, 9th, I think it's over. I honestly do think it's over for Sergio Perez at Red Bull. Now, who they replace him with, I don't know. That's an open debate. Whether they stick Ricciardo in there for half a season, see what he's about. Whether they stick Tsunoda in there, that's more unlikely. Or whether they go Liam Lawson mid-season, chuck him in at the deep end. I don't know about that. I think they prefer to keep hold of Sergio Perez, but at this rate, they're going to lose the Constructors' Championship. That is facts. The form that Sergio Perez is in and the form that McLaren are in, Red Bull are under serious threat for the Constructors' Championship. I do feel like at this point I would go for McLaren are favourites probably for the Constructors' Championship, even though they're probably 40, 50 points behind at the minute. They're closing in quick. Another 1-2 this weekend, or, both McLaren's in the top 5, and they've near enough caught up, I would imagine. So, yeah, welcome to the stream. Hopefully it's a good one. Will Devon make it for Arsenal United? No chance. Here he is. Oh, here he is. It's just a little healthcare check on Developer this in the corner because, yeah. I want to see him cycling home, innit? I've been invested in this stream for all night and all day, so best believe I'm sticking with him just to see. Make sure he gets home safe, you know what I mean? Make sure he gets home safe because he's cycling, innit? He's, yeah, but anyway, love him on. But yes, how are we doing? Yeah, qualifying getting underway in about 10 minutes. I'm going to get the right headphones on in a minute so I can hear what's going on, what's being said. But we'll see. It could be an interesting one. I think final practice was red flagged. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's as wet as like for extreme wets. I don't know what the scenario is, but we'll find out in the next few minutes. Just how treacherous this circuit is and whether we, odds on it being 3 sessions without a yellow flag or a red flag, stick a $5 on that, you'd be rich. I reckon it's going to be a bit of an incident fraught quali, but as long as it takes, I'll be in. I'll be here. Yes, Sean Tan, welcome to the stream, bro. Hope you're doing well. If you're wondering who this is in the corner, good, damn it. You probably thought I was joking when I said I'm going to put you in the corner of my stream, but no, I need to make sure he gets home safe, In the beginning, his fault was streaming Democrat. I know, yeah, he's on his main channel. You can't hear him though, can you? I think I've muted the tab, so because that'd be too much. Both of us talking over each other, but yeah, you just gotta have a laugh, haven't you? You gotta have a laugh. I wonder if he's clocked that he's actually on mine. How crazy has F1 been on track? Honestly, it's turned into a very good season this, Sean. Honestly, and after the first four races, I did a video, didn't I? I was sat here going, I'm not going to do this anymore. After the first four, I think Verstappen won the first four or five, and I was just like, I was sat here at round five, just thinking, it's 2023 again, isn't it? It's 2023 part two here. I was like, how am I gonna make this entertaining? How am I gonna commentate and react to 24 Max Verstappen wins? That's what I was seriously considering. Like, how can I make that entertaining? Like, obviously I'll still watch it, but doing a watch along on it and streaming it, I was like, this is gonna be, 2023 was enough. It was difficult enough to try and sort of drum up a bit of excitement out of that, because it was absolutely dead. Probably worst season I've ever seen last season. And then, so the first four or five looked like a continuation of 2023. And I thought, do you know what? I'll give Miami. I'll do the watch along for Miami, and let's, But I remember being like, Miami might be the last one. I can't do this. It's just dead. And since Miami, they must have heard me. The F1 gods have heard me, because they've gone, all right, go on, we'll spice it up a little bit. And since then, we've had like 6 different winners in the last 7 or 8 races. So, we've had Norris win, we've had Leclerc win at Monaco, we've had Russell winning. Did Russell win in Austria? And then Hamilton won the British Grand Prix, and then we just had Piastri win the Hungarian Grand Prix. So it's just, all of a sudden, it's gone from a 1 out of 10 season to like, oh man, you're knocking on the door of a 7 or 8 out of 10 season here. All of a sudden it's getting tasty, and if Lando Norris can, Lando Norris has got an outside chance of fighting for this championship. Now, obviously, he needs things to go his way a little bit. What he needs is a couple of wins in a row. I've been saying this since like Canada. What Lando Norris needs is a couple of wins on the bounce and a Verstappen nightmare. So a Verstappen DNF, or outside the points, or gets a puncture and finishes P9 or something. He needs a bit of he still needs, because the gap's still about 80 points or 70 something points, I think. So Lando Norris still needs a rub of the green to make this interesting in the second half of the season. But listen, if Lando Norris can say win this, and Zandvoort's a long shot in it, Max Verstappen's home race, but let's say Lando wins this and Max doesn't finish, then we can start looking at the points table and going, all right, there's an outside chance here, but it's not quite there yet. Max with a 70 something point lead with 11 races to go is still a long shot. But it's not out of the realms of possibility. Whereas for the last couple of years, it has been outside the realms of possibility for anyone other than Verstappen winning the championship. So, but like I've been saying for a couple of races, the main thing about this season is Constructors' Championship. As of right now, Constructors' Championship is big time up for grabs. So that's the one. I'm really looking at for. Is he on the bike now? I can't. I thought he'd ended it. He's on the bike now. I've got to watch, man. I've got to have him on, man. I've got to make sure he gets home all right, mate. He's on a cycling home one. Absolutely nuts. Right, let me crack a window and then we'll get into what you're saying about the chat. Oh. Right, what are we saying? Who have we got for pole position, guys? Yes, Anto, how we doing, bro? I know, and off track, like you're saying, it's crazy how F1 is on track. Also off track, like you say, with all like Flavio Briatore's back, also Sainz winning Australia, yeah. So we've had 7 different winners this season. I mean, how many did we have last season? 3. Verstappen, Perez and Sainz, and Verstappen won what, 20 races, 18, 19 races out of 23. It was brutal, but yeah, since round 5, since Lando Norris won in Miami, and then chased him down hard in Imola the next weekend after that, it's really turned a corner, Formula One. Thank God. It needed to turn a corner big time, and I'm glad it has. And I don't mind Verstappen winning the championship as long as it's close fought. I don't mind who wins it. You know, that's the frame of mind I'm in now. And you know, Verstappen will probably still go on to win this championship. But listen, it's going to be a 10 times better of a spectacle than it was last year, and so I can't complain about it this season. And I'm well up for the second half this season. Gonna be mint. Pissed is the understatement of the century, Gav. He's been on the session since when did he do that watch along of Bolton yesterday evening? So what, you talking 7 o'clock yesterday afternoon, 7 o'clock yesterday evening, still going now. So I just want to make sure he gets home all right, innit? Good Denver lad. You left the Demcast 8 a.m. Switch to YouTube. Yeah, he switched to YouTube, man. He shouldn't be on YouTube doing on the session, but you know, he doesn't care at this point, does he? Yeah, Flavio's back. Andy Cowell, Mattia Binotto at Audi, or what, Sauber at the minute. But yeah, cars lined up at the end of the pit lane. We're going to get qualifying 1 underway momentarily. No, I'm good, Gav. How are you, mate? And welcome to the stream, Farron, as well. And cheers for joining the last watch along as well, Farron. You got yourself in the Viewers' Championship race. I can't remember where you finished, but I think you got some points out of it anyway. Obviously, come back tomorrow, Farron, for the Grand Prix itself, and you'll be entered into the next round of the Viewers' Championship, which I'll do on Monday evening, probably 8 p.m. So get in live chat tomorrow to be entered into that. Yeah, Andre Seidel leaving his CEO role at Sauber after just 2 years. I know. You think it's a good move, that, getting Mattia Binotto in? He wasn't exactly phenomenal at Ferrari, was he? My favourite team principal, one of my favourites, was Maurizio Arrivabene. I thought he was mint. I thought he was great. He didn't take any ounce of BS. Maurizio Arrivabene. I actually met Maurizio Arrivabene. So maybe that's why I feel like a little bit more of a... But yeah, Ferrari should never have sacked him. What's he got on here? Oh, he's ended it. It's over. His battery must have gone dead. I was like, what's he got some woman on the street? No, his battery must have gone dead, man. Oh, well. I'll have to check up on Denver in a bit. But yes, Brownie, welcome to the stream, bro. Qualifying just getting underway now. So let's have a do. So what are we talking here? Is it extreme wets? Are we intermediates? Are we raining at the minute? Are we due some rain? What is the scenario here? I don't think it's raining right now, but the track is certainly wet. They've got to be on extremes, looking at the amount of spray off the back of that McLaren. Just change your travelling plans. Why? What are you doing? Oh, you're going to Thailand soon, aren't you? Listen, I'm. Do you know what? I've got an idea of doing. Me and Loz have talked about this. I've got an idea of going to the Japanese Grand Prix next season. It'd be first weekend of April next season. Loz is going to be there. I've got an idea about going to Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's round 3 of next year's championship. First weekend of April. Do I do it? I reckon I do it. I know it's going to cost a fortune and whatever, but you live once, don't you? You've got, and there's a chance for me to go and be with my mate as well. He'll already be there. So I won't be on my Billy One Todd. Do you know what I mean? I reckon it could be a shout. 2025 Japanese Grand Prix, here I come potentially. See Hamilton in red as well. See Hamilton at Ferrari. Obviously, Suzuka's one of the all-time great tracks as well, just like this one is. So yeah, that might be the one. You're moving to Australia on Monday. Bloody hell, you're not scared of taking chances, are you, Brownie? Jesus, mate. There's got to be some business line there somewhere. There's got to be some business opportunity there somewhere that's probably not probably not right to talk about on stream. Them could meet in Japan as well. Yeah, he could do, innit? He could do, man. He could do. Yeah, it'd only be like, I don't know what it'd be from there, 3-4 hour flight or something. Maybe not even that. So, maybe that's the move, innit? Go live. I'll be live on here going, hello and a big welcome to the channel. No, I'm not in my bedroom with a green screen. I am here. That'll be the day, won't it? No, I'm not with my headphones and a green screen. I am trackside on the other side of the world, mate. That's the day. I know, Denver's mad. I hope he gets home. I know, so do I. His phone must have died on the way home, innit? But I hope he... but yes, how are we doing? I've missed a couple of comments. Also, Bruno Faman's stepping down. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? The amount of drivers and team principals and everything that's changing. Oh, so they're on the inters. They're not on extreme wets. They're on the inters. Lando Norris is on the intermediate tyre. We'll start getting into what's happening on track in a minute. Yeah, that's mad. Just at the drop of a hat, just like, yeah, I'm moving to Australia. You're mad, Brownie, but I hope it works out well for you. Yeah, his phone must have died, innit? And so, yeah. Right, Hamilton's complaining of no grip. Well, I could have told you that. I could have told you that myself, Lewis, with a wet track on intermediate tyres. But Norris is purple middle sector. So Verstappen goes top, and that's beaten by Lando Norris at a 158.894 is the benchmark at the moment. But we're early doors Q1, so don't get too overexcited about that. Magnussen goes P2 in the Haas. Go on there, Kevin. I don't think Kevin's going to be in F1 next season as well, which is a massive shame in my opinion. Kevin Magnussen's always been someone that I've cheered for because I like his attitude of not giving a damn, to put it mildly. I do like that. I like to think that I drive like Kevin Magnussen if I was in F1. Not giving anybody an inch. But I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. But I'd love to think that I would be like Kevin Magnussen. Just elbows out. I don't care if it's for P19. I'm either running you off the track or we're having a side-by-side, and he doesn't make it easy for anybody. And you've got to respect that. I do respect that. And yeah, he's on the wrong side of the law more often than he's on the right side of it, and he gets penalties left, right and centre. But I feel like Formula One will miss Kevin Magnussen when he's not here anymore. There'd be a little like Formula One miss Maldonado. When Maldonado wasn't on the grid, all right, we still had the big hitters, we still had the big names, but you missed that little bit of entertainment. Oh, someone's being shoved into the grass for P17. Let's have a look. But yeah, Verstappen, purple sector 1 and 2. Views Championship Monday, 3 in a row. Yeah, you got to get in the stream tomorrow, Dan, to be entered into that one. Yeah, back-to-back wins in Viewers Championship is mad. That's like your number. That's like having number 7 on roulette, and it comes up number 7 2 spins in a row. That's how unlikely that is because it's random. So for like 20, there was like 29 drivers in it. So for 29 drivers to get random stats and you get the fastest boat twice in a row is madness. But yeah, Charles Leclerc up to 3rd. I say Sainz got a seat yet. He'll get a seat, but the real question is, has Sainz decided where he's going yet? And I don't think he has. I think he's waiting for a couple more pieces to be confirmed. Antonelli at Mercedes, and what are Red Bull going to do with that second seat? He's probably just waiting for a couple of more things to play out, and then he'll either go for the Williams drive alongside Alex Albon, or the Sauber Audi project. But that might be more long term than Williams, to be honest. It's a difficult decision for him to make for Carlos Sainz, but he'll definitely be on the grid. That's not a question, but I don't know. Maybe he was holding out for a chance at the Mercedes seat. Maybe in the back of his mind as well, he's thinking, could there be a shot at Red Bull? But yeah, I think if I was to put my money where my mouth is, I'd say he goes next to Alex Albon at Williams. That's what I'd say. But I don't know. Obviously, we've got Ocon confirmed at Haas next season, so Haas lineup is sorted out. That'll be Ocon and Behrman at Haas. We've got pieces are starting to fall into place now. You've only got 2 or 3 seats left, and Sainz will be in one of them. Is it raining the whole session? I'm not sure, Carl. I don't think it's raining right this minute, but I think they were telling Norris on team radio that rain is forecast later on. But I don't think it's actually raining as we speak. It's just that it's a wet circuit. But yeah, 10 minutes ago in Q1, so I'll start to get into lap times and what everyone's doing. Hope you're allowed in Monday. Such a business drill, even the Russian is playing. Wow, fair play, Brownie. You gotta go for it. If you've got a chance to do that and move to Australia, mate, I say go for it. Definitely, what an opportunity. Yeah, Sainz to Williams would be great. Yeah, I feel like Williams might be a bit of a dark horse the next couple of years. I feel like James Vowles. I'd quite like James Vowles. He's an organised man. Yeah, I feel like he will get it together for Williams sooner rather than later as well. I think Williams could pose a bit of a surprise next season. All of a sudden, they're not 16th and 18th now. They're 7th and 8th. I feel like Williams are going to be on an upward trajectory, and the thing is, for Sainz to risk the Audi project, it might take Audi 3 years before the fighting for podiums. Never mind wins and championships. By that time, Sainz might be, into his late 30s by the time Audi is sort of fighting for championships, if they ever do. So, I don't know. If I was Sainz, I think I would go for the Williams seat. But it's a bit of a gamble, though. Something's come up, Gav notes as a no-brainer. It's only for a year. Things go well, you have enough money to buy a place in Barcelona. Well, fair play, mate. Yes, JJ, how are we? Good, mate. How are you? How's it going? 8 minutes to go in Q1. It's Verstappen, Gasly, Piastri top 3. Norris team radio. Now or never for a new set. Right, so we've got a situation where the track's drying out, but there's more raining coming in the next few minutes. That's the vibe I'm getting. That it's sort of like, this is as good as it's going to get. You get a new set of tyres on now. You set a lap time now before the next rain shower that's probably due in the next, 5 minutes. Any new circuits on the calendar next season? That's a good question, that, Gav. The answer is probably yes, and I can't remember right now. I know that the Spanish Grand Prix is moving to Madrid, but I think that's for 26. Next season, new track. They did confirm the calendar as well a couple of weeks ago for 2025. I don't know. Maybe there's not, Maybe they're just swapping a few things around because Japan's going to be round 3. Because there wasn't any new circuits this season. I'm not sure on that one, Gav. I'll have to have a bit of a Google search, innit? I'm going to have a look right now, Gav. 2025 calendar. Let's have a look. Here you are. Anything new? Anything new for 2025? Nope. No, it's just a different order of the races. The order of the races is slightly tweaked. You've got Bahrain and Saudi Arabia round 4 and 5 instead of round 1 and 2. So next season it starts off Australia, China to Japan, then Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, then Miami, and but yeah, no new circuits in a sentence. Anyway, let's get into this because there's only 5.5 minutes to go in Q1, and at the end of this 5.5 minutes, the slowest 5 drivers will be knocked out and their grid position will be set. So in the bottom 5 at the moment is Magnussen, Albon, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Stroll. We're all on the intermediate tyres then still, so no chance of slicks. And Sainz through the final chicane then, he's currently P13. Across the line he comes then and goes P4. Okay, so he'll be safe with that, I would think. I'd love them to bring back Turkey. Yeah, so would I. They did a few circuits in that COVID season, 2020 season, that were really good. Turkey being one of them, but it was just a one hit wonder. No space for it on the calendar really. But yeah, Turkey's a good track. Always has been a good track. There's no French or German Grand Prix these days. That's mad, really. No French or German Grand Prix. I think there was talk of this race being under threat, but that's gone quiet. So I hope that Belgium have got a long-term contract to be on the calendar. I think Silverstone's got like a 17-year contract or something like that. So no doubt of the British Grand Prix anyway. But yeah, some of these European tracks are just falling off the calendar, being replaced by Middle East or more races in the US. And I'm not a fan of that. We've got enough races in the US now. We don't need another one. But Alonso goes across the line to P4, so he'll be safe with that. Stroll goes P7. 3 minutes 40 seconds to go. It's Verstappen from Piastri, and Gasly pops into P3 in the Alpine. Let's go, Pierre Gasly. Go on then. Ocon goes P5. We've got 2 Alpines in the top 5. Okay. Like the German Grand Prix, the French Grand Prix was always boring. Yeah, the modern French Grand Prix was, but do you remember French Grand Prix at Magny-Cours? Now, that was a proper circuit that they should bring back. But French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard, yeah, nah. I want to see French Grand Prix at Le Mans, mate. But the Le Mans Bugatti layout, yeah, what about that? Not Le Mans like full Le Mans, but Le Mans, they've got like a smaller. But yeah, German Grand Prix, they used to rotate the German Grand Prix. It used to be odd-numbered years would be Nürburgring, and even-numbered years would be Hockenheimring. That was good, man. That was what happened to that arrangement. So you'd have like 2009 would be Nürburgring, 2010 would be Hockenheim, 11 Nürburgring. They used to rotate it like that. They must have both just thought it's not worth hosting a race. Bernie must have been saying, right, 100 million if you want a race, and they've gone, no, forget it then. Because Bernie Ecclestone used to strike mad deals. So I don't know what happened to that. But the fact there's no French and German Grand Prix is mad. Anyway, 2 minutes left in the session. We've got Sargent, Russell, Bottas, Zhou and Hulkenberg in the bottom 5 at the minute. So George Russell obviously needs a lap under pressure. Big pressure to get out of Q1. All down to money like every sport. Yeah, that's it, really. And if the US can come in, Las Vegas can come in with all the money and go, we're having a race. And meanwhile, Hockenheimring in Germany's going, whoa, wait a minute. We can't afford a doubling of the, or whatever would have been the deal. We can't afford double the money. Forget it. And then you've got Saudi Arabia coming in going, we'll have a race. And so that's what shapes it. But it's a shame because Formula One's at its centre is got a European hub. All the teams are based in Europe. In fact, most of them are based just outside of Silverstone. But you know, the vast majority of the season was always around Europe, and that's starting to die off a bit. Starting to get a bit thin. But yeah, Russell on a lap, on an important lap, doesn't want to be knocked out in Q1, obviously. London will have a race soon. They won't, and obviously that's my opinion. I don't think they will, and I'll tell you why. Because there'll be too many go green environmentalists that will not let that happen. Yeah, there'll be too many activists, whatever you want to call them, that will not pass the government. They ain't going to put the tick in the box for a London Grand Prix. Nah. Because you've got to remember as well, to shut down London for a Grand Prix, you've got to remember 99% of people do not give a damn about this. And so they'll just be like, what is this uproar? To burn some fuel and burn some tyres? Nah. It wouldn't get approved, I don't think. It wouldn't get approved. And I don't want it to be approved either. The British Grand Prix should always be at Silverstone to the end of time. You can forget racing round the London Eye and Big Ben and Parliament and Westminster Abbey. You can sling that. Not interested in that at all. Not interested. We've got enough street circuits anyway. We've got enough street circuits. We've got about 5-6 street races. That's enough. Spanish Grand Prix moving to a street track as well, which I not really a fan of. I mean, Piastri's gone fastest, and the checkered flag is out at the end of Q1. So who is in that bottom 5 then? Tsunoda, Sargent, Bottas, Zhou and Hulkenberg. Here comes Hulkenberg across the line then. Can he escape from Q1? And does. P11 for Hulkenberg so far. Will it be enough? We are about to find out. Alonso goes P7. He'll be safe with that. Bottas goes 8. That's cat amongst the pigeons. That means anybody can get through. If Bottas can go P8, it's anybody's game. Lance Stroll's gone 11th, so he may be safe with that. That's a bit on the bubble. Magnussen goes P14. That's going to be, you're going to be struggling with that. Perez goes P4 then, so easily safe and through to Q2, at least for Sergio Perez. And we've got P8 for Daniel Ricciardo. So Daniel Ricciardo's through. Norris improves, but only 11th. That should be enough because we're in out of cars to come across the line. Sainz goes P5. So what have we got then? The two Hasses are in trouble. Tsunoda's out. Sargent and Zhou. We're waiting on Sargent and Zhou. Are they on a lap? If not, then they're the last two positions on the grid. Zhou is out as well. And the fact that the camera's not picking up Sargent means that he's probably out as well. And he is. So we have got knocked out in Q1 then. Nico Hülkenberg, Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda, Logan Sargent, and Zhou Guanyu. So Lance Stroll, by the skin of his teeth, gets through to Q2. No big names really knocked out in Q1 then. Both Hasses, an RB, a Williams, and a Sauber. What a stinker for Tsunoda it is, isn't it? P18 on the grid at a damp Spa-Francorchamps. We've not seen any more rain, so as of right now, the track's slowly drying out. Emphasis on the word slowly because we've not got a dry line yet or anything like that. But no rain shower up to now. Everyone's still intermediates are going to be starting Q2. I would have thought on the intermediates as well, but it might not be that long. If the rain holds off, maybe by the end of Q2 we're going to see slicks. What has happened to Tsunoda lately? He's dropped off. If he wants that Red Bull seat, he needs to step up. I know. He could do with pumping in good results now, isn't it? Yeah. You've got to time it, you know. You've got to be in form at the right time. As if Denver's stream was 12 and a half hours long. He's a nut job, isn't he? No, it's not good, man. It's a shame because for me, if if that second Red Bull seat was on merit, I think Sonoda would already have it. But like I said in some other streams, I think Red Bull maybe they don't back Sonoda. They don't like Sonoda's attitude, and sometimes he can be a bit brazen on team radio. But then again, Verstappen's just as bad on team radio. I didn't agree with the. I didn't like the Max Verstappen outburst at Hungary. And Martin Brundle didn't either. They were talking about that in the build up today about how Max Verstappen completely lost it in Hungary. Effing and jeffing at the team and that. I'm thinking it wasn't very classy from Max Verstappen in Hungary. And then the fact he's fully sent it down the inside of Hamilton and the obvious collision that was going to follow from that, and then he's on team radio moaning throughout the race, and I just feel like he's a little bit petulant, Max Verstappen. He's not very likable, is he? When all of a sudden things aren't going quite your way as much as it was before, and then it's all of a sudden it's toys out of the pram. Like, show a bit of class and suck it up and deal with it. Like McLaren have caught up. Mercedes are there or thereabouts, track dependent. Ferrari have dropped off a little bit. But basically, the point is, there's a lot more competition. And all of a sudden, now Verstappen's like lost his cool so quickly. It's like disappointing, really. It must be a little bit disappointing if you're a Verstappen fan as well. It's like, come on, man. This is a team that's delivered you. This is a team that bows down to your every request, and they built you. From Max Verstappen's point of view, they've built him a car that's suited to him for like 7-8 years in a row. They've done everything for Verstappen, and for Verstappen to have one race where the strategy isn't quite perfect, and to give him an absolute barrage of abuse is just not on, in my opinion. Just not on. Alonso's had a shit season. Well, Aston Martin in general, Gav, of just having a poor season. Why that is, I don't know, but I don't know if it's as much about Fernando Alonso's performances as a driver as it is the team have just been outdeveloped by everybody else. Aston Martin was Red Bull's nearest rival for the majority of last season, and then all of a sudden they've come out of the blocks this season and they've been 5th, 6th fastest car, and it is disappointing. I don't know whether they've gone the wrong way with development, or whether Ferrari, Mercedes and McLaren have just developed quicker and better and just leapfrogged them. Maybe a combination of both of those two factors, and it's just been... I mean, Sean Tan will tell you, it's just been a season to forget for Aston Martin so far. I mean, are they going to turn it round? I wouldn't have thought so. I feel like this season will just be a bit of a whimper for Aston Martin, and they'll just end up, what will they be, 5th in constructors? And that's what it's going to be. What's Alonso on? 45 points? Something like that? I mean, he was on 45 points after 3 races last season. What a drop-off. We'd seen Alonso being low motivated before. Yeah, maybe as well. When the cars dropped off the pace that much, maybe you just lose that last 1% of motivation as well, thinking, well, a podium's never a possibility. And so you just sort of chill out, knowing that... Not chill out, but you're not quite as motivated, are you? If you're fighting for a podium as if you're fighting for P10. You're just going to be that little bit. The edge is going to go for you. And so maybe that's happened as well for Fernando Alonso. And he's just sort of, not checked out, but just come to terms with it and and not wanting to outdrive the car and do anything stupid and just do what he can, but not. It's really going to dent your motivation, isn't it, when you go from second fastest car to fifth fastest car over a winter period. I think people need to remember this. Aston Martin at the moment still technically Force India Racing Point version of Aston Martin team. Are they though? How long can you say that for though? Because it's been Aston Martin since, what, 2021? 2020? No, 2020 was definitely Racing Point. 21, it must have gone to Aston Martin. So you could probably say that for the first couple of years. But now, at this point, is it not just thoroughbred Aston Martin? They only have building one of the new facilities complete, building 2 and 3. Oh, so they're still transitioning over. It's a long-term project, that, isn't it? See, so really you're saying like the performance from last year was like too good to be true. Is that what you mean? It wasn't, maybe it flattered them. You're not beneficial for them. No, it's not if you're still building your facilities 4 years later. No, it's not ideal. Yes, JJ, bro, welcome to the stream. Q2 is underway. I think we're still on the intermediate tyres. Track is going to continue to dry out because we've not got any rain at the moment. So I give it another 10 minutes. And we're going to start seeing a dry line and someone risking a set of slicks if the rain holds off. Of course. Look at Gasly on pole so far, I know. Pierre Gasly! It's because Alpine cap, mate. You know what I mean? Lucky. No. You've got to remember, that was Q1. All the time's a reset for everyone that was in the top 15, so we don't get too excited about Gasly. But it's a good sign. It's a good sign that he's confident in these damp conditions anyway, or wet conditions, would you say? I don't know what where the line is between wet and damp. So I say current position, where is it you were expecting them to be? Yeah, last year must have just been a dream. Last year was just a fever dream, was it? Alonso P2, P3 for the first half of the season. Unbelievable. Just a fever dream. This is the reality of it. Yeah. Realistically, still lacking resources compared to the top 4 teams. Yeah. Yeah. So Lando Norris has gone purple, middle sector. Alonso comes across the line P3 then. And Norris is going to go quickest, is he not? Yep, bang, by 2.5 tenths. So Norris is quickest, 10 minutes to go in Q2. Have we got any rain? Is it starting to, is there a little bit of drizzle on the pit straight there? Yeah, I think the rain started again, you know. I think the rain has started to fall once again. Yeah, Verstappen struggling for grip in the middle sector. You've got to be careful on the throttle there. Rears are sliding all over the place, says George Russell on team radio. Perez goes P4 in the Red Bull. So we've got Norris, Albon, Ocon, Perez, top 4 at the minute. Verstappen's gone purple middle sector, despite him looking like he was wrestling the car. So, interesting. Piastri goes P3, and Verstappen is going to cross the line now and goes quickest by 6 tenths. Boom! Have a slice of that cake. Verstappen P1 by 6 tenths. Basically not surprised, yeah. You can't stand Russell the brake. I won't go that far. He's not my cup of tea just because sadly he was born without a personality. No, it's tight. It's harsh to say that because obviously the PR trained and I don't know him, do I? Off the track. But he just, I don't know. He doesn't light my fire, George Russell. You know what I mean? But to call him that's a bit heavy, isn't it, Gav? It's a bit heavy, that. But no. Remember Verstappen taking a... Oh, yeah! I totally forgot about that as well. Thanks for reminding me about that. Yeah, so Max Verstappen is, whatever happens, is they've put a new engine in the back of the car. So wherever Verstappen qualifies, he's taking a 10-place penalty. I tell you what, I'm saying if Lando Norris wins tomorrow and Verstappen, gets a couple of points, finishes like outside the top 6... we start to think about game on, don't we? What would the gap be in the championship? 50-something points? About 60 points, something like that. With 10 races to go, it's on. I think, but obviously that's with the asterisks of if Lando Norris gets the win and Max doesn't absolutely sail through the pack, which will probably happen. So we can't count any chickens on that regard yet. But there's a chance there for Lando Norris to put a major dent in the Verstappen championship lead if things go his way. Verstappen DNF would be a dream for the championship, JJ, an absolute dream. On a championship battlefront, anyway, not for Red Bull and anyone who's Dutch, but for the rest of the world, it'd be fantastic. You have to hope McLaren don't make stupid decisions. Yeah, you do. What did you think about the Norris-Piastri scenario in Hungary? I tell you what, for a few laps, I thought Norris wasn't going to swap it back. I honestly thought he's not going to do it, and I'm glad he did do it. He did the right thing because it would have brought disarray to McLaren, and that's not what you need especially when you've got a big chance of Constructors' Championship. You don't want to be causing any havoc. So Lando Norris did the right thing, but you know what? For about 10 laps, I was thinking he's just going to be full selfish. It's going to be like Sebastian Vettel at Malaysia. Was that like 2010, 2012? You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be Mode 21, whatever it is. I thought multi-21. I thought it was going to be a multi-21 situation where, in a nutshell, Norris was just going to say, bollocks to everyone, I'm winning the race regardless of what you tell me. But in the end, he gave the position back, so respect to Lando for that one. Is it back to late nights after this round? No, it's still in Europe. When we come back after summer break, it's Zandvoort it's Max Verstappen's home race on the other side of summer break. And then we're done with early mornings, late nights. The back end of the season, obviously, like the ones in the US and over that time are in the evenings, 7, 8, 9 p.m. races, which isn't bad, is it? But we're done with the early morning stuff. Proves he's honest, Norris. Yeah, because I was thinking this is a moral dilemma, really. I was even saying on stream, like, this is about who you are as a person, which might be a little bit deep, but it was about who you are as a person. And I'm glad he made the right decision and let Piastri win that one. And sort of live to fight another day. Take your 18 points and come to Spa-Francorchamps and have a look. But yeah, Verstappen's gone quickest then. I've not really been talking about the on-track action, but we'll get onto that now. So Verstappen goes purple, fastest of anybody then, a 1 minute 53.86 tenths quicker than Lando Norris. Here comes George Russell then, round the final chicane and to the line. Boom, P4. I tell you what, Albon's still up there. Is this because the rain started to fall and Albon got a lap in early when the track was a little bit drier than it is now? Is that what the Albon lap's standing the test of time at the moment? Yes, Rob. You went on a full Norris rant. Yeah, because I was convinced he wasn't going to give that back the position. I was like, you are going down in my estimations. I was like, yeah, I'm going to own it, mate. I own the L, bro. I was going, I'm losing respect for you and all the rest of it. Not that Lando Norris knows I exist and cares anyway, but yeah, I was not happy with it. But in the end, he proved me wrong, and I'm glad he proved me wrong. Leclerc goes P3 in the Ferrari then. 3 minutes to go in Q2. What's Sainz going to do? P4. Okay, so they're safe at the moment then. So we've got Perez P10 on the bubble. We've then got Ricciardo, Alonso, Gasly, Bottas and Stroll all in trouble. Oh, Oscar Piastri. Come on then, Piastri. Needs a lap down in P8 at the moment is Piastri, so you could do with improving. We've got 2.5 minutes to go, so yeah, you're going to get one more lap, basically. One more bite of the cherry. Oh, go second, okay. Boom. Only 3/10 behind Verstappen. Verstappen looking good, you know. We can all say what we want and moan about him, complain about him, but in the end, he's your top dog, isn't he? At the end of the day, Verstappen's top dog. And he's looking good, to be honest. He's looking good. Danny Rick goes P6 in the RB. Go on, Danny Rick. Hey, finding form at the right time, just like I was saying about Tsunoda. Needs to be performing now. Maybe it's Danny Rick that's... But will Red Bull really stick Daniel Ricciardo in that Red Bull for the second half of this season? I think that would be a big shock, that, for me. It'd be a big shock, that. Would you? I mean, that is one that is one for a poll with thousands of F1 fans. That would you stick with Sergio Perez, or would you put Daniel Ricciardo in? That's a tough call, that. Because realistically, Tsunoda's not getting thrown in mid-season, and realistically, is Liam Lawson going to be thrown in at the deep end mid-season? I don't know. Do you stick with Perez or go Danny Rick? Bearing in mind, this is not the Danny Rick of 2014, 2015. This is Danny Rick 2024. It's not the one, is it? Ocon's purple sector 1. Go on then. Perez has gone 4th as well, so he might be safe with that. He didn't miss a race. He was happy he'd done the right thing. Like in the end, they'll keep Perez. Yeah. Honestly, it's highly possible whether they stick Ricciardo in. In the end, they'll keep Perez. I mean, that would be the preferred thing to do, but if he doesn't get any points this weekend, I think they've got to draw the line, to be honest. So Gasly's gone P7. I think what is looking good is Perez is likely to get through to Q3 now. This is massive weekend for Sergio Perez, this, I think. You know, I think this goes wrong and they could just draw the line under the whole saga, to be honest. So this, I'd be driving nervous if I was Sergio Perez, thinking one more mistake and that might be curtains. That's the vibe I'm getting. But he's so far so good. He's P6, looking to get through to the final part of qualifying and start in the top 10 at least, which is something that he's not done most of the time this season. So here comes Lewis Hamilton to the line then. Goes second. Go on then, Lewis. P2 for Hamilton. 0.2 off Verstappen's benchmark. Alonso goes P5. Perez is dropping down the order here. Oh, but Albon doesn't beat him. So Albon goes P9. That might be critical for Perez getting through. But we've got Sainz. His Sainz improves. Oh, I tell you what, Perez might end up P10. It's going to be close, this. Leclerc goes P5, Sainz goes P4, and now Perez is P10. This is close. What's Bottas doing? Doesn't improve. It's all about Stroll. Where's Lance Stroll? Is he not? Stroll not on a lap. That's it. Perez by the skin of his teeth. Perez by 3/1000ths of a second is through to Q3. Sneaks through. So in the end, it was Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Sainz, Piastri, Leclerc, Alonso, Norris, Ocon, Perez. We've not had any yellow flag or anything yet. I can't believe this. We've not had anyone. Nobody's spun. Nobody's hit the wall. Nobody's had a foray into the gravel, I can't believe it. I actually can't believe that no one's caused a yellow flag or anything. I mean, fair play. They're better than me on Viewers' Championship, that's for sure. As soon as there's a bit of rain on iRacing, mate, I was gone. I was just a spinning top. Stick with the bandit. Pole for Perez. Yeah, imagine. Perez sneaks through, baby. Alonso gets the Aston into Q3, yeah. So, knocked out. I haven't actually said it. I mean, you can see it there, but knocked out in Q2 then. Albon P11, Pierre Gasly P12, Daniel Ricciardo P13, Valtteri Bottas P14, and Lance Stroll P15. So, yeah. Ocon's got through, but Gasly's been knocked out. So we've got one Alpine in the top 10. Who else we've got? Yes, we've got one Aston Martin. Alonso's got through. P7. Easy. Comfortable. Experience paying off in mixed conditions for Fernando Alonso. Perez scrapes through. I mean, when I say scrapes through, I mean scrapes through. 0.003 of a second between Perez and Albon, 10th and 11th. Doesn't get much closer than that. So yeah, Ocon's through in 9th. And then obviously we got the big guns. We've got both Red Bulls, both Ferraris, both McLarens, both Mercedes, an Aston and an Alpine. That is how Q3 is shaping up. Yeah, so Gasly was P2 in Q1, he's out in Q2. Exactly. That's why you can't read too much into it, innit? Because someone said 10 minutes ago, was it Gav, saying Gasly's P1. You know what I mean? Yeah, look, Gasly pole so far, said Gav 10 minutes ago. All change at crew, mate. All changed. I wonder. Just checking something. Bear with me. Why give him 2? Couldn't believe it. Why give him a 2? What do you mean? Oh, he needs to get out of Red Bull now. I give him a 2-year contract, you mean? Yeah. Madness. I guess they thought, I mean, Christian Horner did say in an interview that we thought the contract would help him, you know? Like, okay, he's struggling a little bit. Give him the contract, and that's going to take the pressure off him and think, you know, you've got that security then of thinking, right, I'm here for the next 2 years. I don't need to do anything stupid. We're secure in the future. And they thought that'd help him. It's been all downhill since he signed that contract. And, yeah, Sergio Perez getting into Q3 might have saved his drive for the rest of the season. And that sounds mad, but I'm serious. You know, if Perez had been eliminated Q1 here, I think it's over. I think Sergio Perez, in my view, is clinging onto this seat by the skin of his teeth. And getting through to Q3 is probably just about enough. Yeah, I don't know. He's going to be starting ahead of Verstappen anyway this weekend. So if Verstappen still beats him, Oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's a difficult one. Check. I was, but he's not. He's not live unless you know something that I don't. I don't think he's live anywhere, Gav. Because I was just checking if he's got home all right and that, but he's not live on his main channel, is he? And he's not live on Twitch, so he might have just got home and crashed out. I imagine. Called it a day. I don't know. I mean, anyone else would have called it a day 12 hours ago, but you know what Denver's like. He'll go till his body just shuts down. You got 22-1 on Hamilton, did you? I mean, I never bet on Formula One because then your opinion then is swayed. You just want one thing, and it would wreck my watch along of it. If I had money on a particular driver, I'd only be rooting for that driver, and so it become the most biased. It'd become the most biased thing you'd ever seen. Like if I had a tenner on Lewis Hamilton, I wouldn't even care about the other 9 drivers in quali now. I'd just be like, go on, Lewis, because at the end of the day, you're making money out of it. So I removed that. I removed that completely. I never put money on it because it would just lead to. It would lead to an obscuring of my opinions, basically. And I want to be as neutral as I can be. Even though I have my favourites, but everyone's got the favourites. But yeah, you could, you know, it's now the realms of possibility that 22-1 from the bookies is a bit mad. I would have thought that it'd be like 10-1. 22 is wild. Also very coincidental between Hulkenberg and... Yeah, I saw this the other day, that basically Ocon's been following Hulkenberg around the grid for like 10 years. Yeah, I saw this. So Hulkenberg left Force India at the end of 16, Ocon replaced him. Hulkenberg left Renault at the end of 19 and Ocon replaced him. And now Hulkenberg is leaving Haas and Ocon's replacing him next year. That's mad. I didn't realize, and I saw that. I think I saw that yesterday. I might have seen it on TikTok actually. And I was like, what the hell? Ocon's been following Hulkenberg around for the last 10 years of his career. It is a madness. 5 on pole. Well, good luck. In 2020, now Hulkenberg's leaving Haas. It's mad, isn't it? Should we bet that Ocon is going to race Audi once Hulk retires? Yeah, get your bets on now. Mad. Every time Hulkenberg changes teams, Ocon fills that seat. What? Also, I saw something a few months back that about Ocon. They were comparing Ocon and Gasly's career, and it's so similar. Like even the amount of points that Ocon and Gasly have scored in the career is like really close. They've had 1 Grand Prix win each. I think they've had the same amount of podiums. It's weird how similar Ocon and Gasly's career is as well. That's another weird coincidence. They both had 1 win. They both scored whatever amount of points. When I saw that Ocon was being linked to Haas months ago, I was like, hold on a minute. You clocked it straight away. I clocked it yesterday. So you were ahead of me on that one, as you are most of the time anyway. But could Sainz end up at Alpine, or have they filled that seat? No, that's not been confirmed yet. So, yeah, I won't say it's out of the realms of possibility, but I think Alpine are looking at Jack Doohan, are they not? Who's their sort of junior driver. I don't know if he's Australian or from New Zealand, one of the two. 178 days wait, the wait of Sainz. Yeah. I think Sainz was going to sign the Williams contract about 3 months ago and then held off. And I don't know, maybe he got a win that maybe he could get the Mercedes seat or maybe the Red Bull seat. I don't know. Would you want to put yourself next to Verstappen anyway? That could be a career ender? It could also be a shot of a championship as well, so it's a difficult one, really. You got to have some bollocks on you to be Verstappen's teammate. You got to have 100% belief in yourself, that's for sure. Didn't Renault treat Sainz like shit before? I don't really remember anything being particularly bad with Sainz at Renault. Anyway, Sainz left Renault of his own accord to go to McLaren. So they didn't throw him out. And then he left McLaren to go to Ferrari of his own accord as well. So Ocon goes P4 then. Right, so with 7.5 minutes to go in Q3. This is the battle for pole position. And I'm still waffling on about this, that and the other. Let's get into it. Lando Norris goes P4 with their fastest final sector. This is hotting up now. Let's get zoned in. Let's have a look what's happening. So it's Hamilton quickest at the moment on a 54 flat with Oscar Piastri. Alonso slots into P5. These are the first shots of Q3. Sainz goes P5 then in the Ferrari. Here comes Charles, Hervé, Percival, Leclerc, P6. I gave that too much of a hype. As Verstappen is purple middle sector. Go on then, Max. Bang. 2.5 tenths. Oh, it's Perez. They got the graphic wrong. They fooled me. They fooled David Croft. They fooled Sky Sports. And it was Perez that's gone quickest. They got the graphics wrong on TV there. But Verstappen beats Perez by 6 tenths. It's a Red Bull 1-2 at the moment with 6.5 minutes to go in Q3. Perez has turned up when it matters. Ooh. Sergio Perez clinging onto that Red Bull seat and Max losing the rear end there. Just about keeping it on track. What did you tell me? The bandit. Who's the bandit? Perez. Mexican bandit. That's got to be offensive to someone somewhere, that. You can't be saying that. Piastri losing the rear end as well for a couple of seconds. You just stick with Perez, would you? It was me making the decision. Do you know, if it was me making the decision, I'd put Yuki Tsunoda in for 11 races and then review it at the end of those 11 races. Or Liam Lawson. I wouldn't be putting Ricciardo in. And I think Perez is just finished. although P2 on the grid right now, so who am I to say he's finished? He's still got it, never lose it. Surgical Perez. Oh, mate, that is funny. Welcome to the stream. Surgical Perez, mate. Go on, D-lad. So the top 10 as it stands then with 4.5 minutes to go. Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, Piastri, Russell, Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, Alonso, Ocon. The 22-1 on Hamilton's looking a bit. Cash out. No, don't cash out, because if he does slap it on pole, then he'll never forgive me. Imagine someone risks a set of slicks now. Imagine that. Imagine I want like a cheeky like Esteban Ocon. Give me a set of soft tyres. Boom. I'm either in the wall or on pole position. That's what I'm saying. I want to see Fernando Alonso out of the pits, set of soft tyres, and it's either in the wall or pole position. No middle ground. All or nothing. It's too wet, isn't it? No, it's too wet leading up to the final chicane. It's some parts of the track look pretty dry though, but no, you're not gonna get slick. No, you're not. No one's risking slicks. I'd love to see it. Jenson Button would put a set of slicks on now and say, "Here we go. It's wall or pole." No, he wouldn't. No, there's too much spray on the main straight. Middle sector looks pretty dry though. Middle sector looks pretty dry, but no one's going to risk the slicks. It's a stupid suggestion. I'm glad they're not listening to me. As entertaining as it would also be a big mistake. We end up in the wall at 150 mile an hour. No, it's too wet. It's too wet. Shame. If the session was going for another 10 minutes, all right, we'll see a set of slicks, but not with 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Yeah, you're crazy if you go for slicks. I don't know, though. You are. But the middle sector. But then final sector, you ain't slowing down for the bus stop chicane, so... No, it's not. No, it's not slicks. Remember when Russell did it in the Williams? What, went on slicks in wet conditions? I remember Russell binning it behind the safety car in Imola, if that's what you mean. Remember Norris commits for Ince's very wet track in quali? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was on for pole that day as well. He looked really quick and then threw it all away, didn't he, at Eau Rouge? Russell qualified second here for Williams in 21, did he? Oh, yeah, and then is that the race that never happened? And then he got a podium by default? Wasn't that Belgian Grand Prix the race that never was? And then so they gave quali result as the race result, but half points or something like that. It was weird. Yeah, that was the race that never happened. And so Russell got a podium for Williams. I mean, you got to put yourself there. Yeah, Max has got a 10 place grid penalty, Dan. Yeah. So even if Max is on pole, he'll start 11th. Championship on, Dan. Hey, Lando Norris for the championship, mate. Well, the thing is, he could do with not qualifying fourth. We could do with a Lando Norris cheeky pole here, just to. And I'm not even a Lando Norris fan, but if he's got half a chance at a championship, best believe I'm cheering him on. Let's have a championship push. Lovely, mate. Lovely jubbly. He'd be starting from dead last. Who will? Oh, Tsunoda taking a 60-place grid penalty. That's like 2016 settings, that. They were joke, those grid penalties in like 2016, 15. Just everyone taking 60-place grid penalties. Right. Anyway. What's happening now? This is the moment of truth now. We're on the final laps. What are we saying? No, I can't see any purple sectors. Yeah, it's still way too wet for slicks. I was chatting absolute rubbish. Right. Here we go then, round the final corner for Carlos Sainz. He's currently 7th, stays 7th. Didn't improve. What can Leclerc do? Can he improve? Oh, it goes front row. Oh, Charles Leclerc's always good in qualifying, mate. Charles Leclerc always pulls it out of the back. But I tell you what, he's still 0.6 of a gap. I tell you what, Verstappen's going to get this. But then he's going to be he's going to get pole position with an asterisk of Leclerc's going to be starting from the front tomorrow at this rate. But we've still got 8 cars to cross the line. So what's Verstappen going to do? Doesn't improve, but he's on pole position. Ish. He's on pole position, but not when he gets his grid penalty. They've gone back to the old engine cover as well with Verstappen's car. They've gone back to those big, bulky haunches on the engine cover. Interesting that they've backtracked on that, or maybe they feel like that's better in the low downforce circuits. I don't know, but is anybody going to challenge? Is anybody on a quick lap here, or is that it? What an absolute... That is the biggest anticlimax to a qualifying session I've ever seen. Everyone's just forgotten the final laps. We only had both Ferraris actually challenge pole. Everybody else has binned it off as a bad do. What? How can you ramp up to a final lap of qualifying and then everybody just think, nah, I'll tell you what, I don't fancy it. Whoa. That is the dampest of all damp squibs to the end of qualifying that I've ever seen. But it will be Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez on the front row of the grid. For the, well, fair play to Sergio Perez on that one. He'll start on the front row. So it's Verstappen pole, but he'll take a 10 place grid penalty. So it'd be Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton in that order. Then Norris, Piastri. So McLaren only 5th and 6th. That'll become 4th and 5th on the grid tomorrow. Then Russell will be 6th. Sainz will end up 7th. Alonso will be 8th. Ocon will be 9th. Then whoever was then, so Albon will be 10th. Then Verstappen 11th. That's how it's gonna work out. So Leclerc Perez front row. Who had a Leclerc Perez front row for Spa? A Ferrari come out of nowhere. Leclerc's come out of nowhere. They've had about since Monaco. Leclerc has been pretty much anonymous. Got a few, racking up the points still, but not had a podium. I don't think since Monaco. Have they, Ferrari? Maybe they have. Maybe I'm chatting out my arse on that one. But it seems like Ferrari have been a bit anonymous. But this will become default. Leclerc starting from the front, however you want to word it. Leclerc is going to be lining up at the front of this Grand Prix tomorrow afternoon with the Max Verstappen 10-place grid penalty. But yes, how are we doing, Lee? Welcome to the stream. We are just about to round it off, but better late than never, innit? Leclerc will be on pole. Yeah, Perez be on the front row. Madness. Hamilton out-qualifies Russell. Yeah, so Hamilton P4, which will become P3. Then the two McLarens, they'll start 4th and 5th. Yeah, then Russell will start 6th. Sainz will be 7th. Alonso will be 8th. Ocon will be 9th. Albon will be 10th. And then Verstappen will slot into 11th. That's how it's going to be. But yeah, Leclerc, Perez. And I tell you what, Perez for the win. But if Perez wins as well, that'd be 8 drivers. That'll be every driver from the top 4 team will have won a race, but he'll have to beat Leclerc, and the McLarens will probably be quick. I don't know what the weather forecast is for tomorrow. I think they were saying before that it's going to be dry, so probably be a dry race, but I don't know that as a fact. But yeah, that is the grid for the 2024 Belgian Grand Prix. Please do join me tomorrow. I will be live. I will be live from 1:45 in the afternoon, so an hour earlier for the race tomorrow. That starts at 2 p.m. Be live at 1:45. Obviously, get yourself in chat tomorrow, in the stream tomorrow. Even if you just say hello, get yourself in chat tomorrow and you'll be entered into round 14 of the Viewers' Championship, which will be on Monday evening. And yeah, then we've got summer break. Then it's what do we do for 4 weeks? Because Belgian Grand Prix is it for 4 weeks. So we'll see. I might just do some iRacing, or I'll figure out some streams to do in some of the evenings in between now and the end of August. So we'll keep the channel ticking over. Might just do some iRacing online races in the evenings and stuff like that. Because I've not done iRacing online for like a year. I've just been racing against you lot, which is basically racing against the computer for like a year. So yeah, maybe I'll get back on the competitive multiplayer on iRacing and work from the ground up and see if I can improve my rating and all that. So it might be a month of iRacing coming up. So it's something to bridge the gap, isn't it? I don't think it's going to be a hell of a lot of big breaking F1 news. I think we've seen most of it. But yeah, that is all for today. It is going to be Leclerc on pole position from Sergio Perez. And join me tomorrow for the 2024 Belgian Grand Prix. Please do drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. And catch you tomorrow, 1:45 UK time, Belgian Grand Prix. See you then. Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, front row. Who had that on the bingo card? Not me. See you in a bit. Yeah, Sprint Series. Maybe that, Gav. Maybe that. See you tomorrow.